But again, WME making all these changes and making it very black and white. That's not the way entertainment works. And this is that when they broadcast, they're speaking to the general fan, not you and me, Chin. They're speaking to people who, the common fan who buys pay-per-views. The hard-nosed, balls-deep fan, there might be 200,000 of us. And that's who buys those. That's who would buy this next Brooklyn pay-per-view. Your hardcore fan who they're just so into it. Now, when you get those million-plus pay-per-view buys, Mike Goldberg and Joe Rogan are the voices to those people. They have one of the most important jobs in the world. There's a reason, and I love Brian Stan, I love John Anik, I love Kenny Florian, Dominic Cruz, DC, but they're very monotone, and they're doing a straight job. When you're not as comfortable as doing the gig, your personality doesn't show, or they don't have the personality to show. So to me and Joe and I, we didn't get an argument about it, but he's like, you're crazy. I told him, I said, you're just as important to the UFC as Conor McGregor is. You are the window to everyone's ear who tunes into the UFC. You cannot tell me, there's no way you guys listening right now can tell me that a UFC on Fox that Rogan doesn't do, a fight night that Rogan doesn't do, a pay-per-view on whatever that Rogan doesn't do, a fight pass card that Rogan doesn't do is just as entertaining when Rogan speaks. And you're biased, he's your boy. Take that out of it. Be dead honest. It's just not true. It's just not true. Yeah. It's not true. Have fucking David Spade do the voiceover on Shawshank Redemption. It's going to fuck things up. Certain people are good at certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird example. I went weird there. You know what I'm saying? Morgan Freeman's the guy for the job. Mike Goldberg, hopefully has something lined up. Shit, he might be at Bellator.
Yeah, you never know. Right?
Have we heard? It's very weird, and it's very, to me, it's very dark. Not to give a guy, how long has he been in the UFC?
Forever.
10 years?
Was it he right after Black Nick, I think? Or was he with Black Nick? Remember?
Probably 10 years?
Way more than me, I think.
So let's say he's been in the UFC since, well, longer than that. Let's say 12 years. 12 or 15, I'm sure.
Long time for sure.
Long time. To not give that guy any sort of send-off, or to not at least mention it, or at least give him, hey, we just want to thank Mike Goldberg for all the years. What he's done has been great. He's been huge in making the sport blow up. Does it say how long he's been there?
Since 97.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 97, geez.
20 years.
20 years.
20 years, and not one mention of it. Not one single mention of it. That's just the way they do business. Like, and I'm a far cry from Mike Goldberg, what I did for the UFC, and especially what I do now for the UFC. But when I retired, I got an email. It's very heartless. I don't think it's the way to do business. I think you pay tribute to a guy like Mike Goldberg. I think they should have probably took 2 minutes after Ronda's fight and just said, hey, man, we want to wish you luck. Everything you're doing, where the company's at today could not have happened without you. You're one of the faces and voices of the sport. Just want to thank you, man. Good luck with everything. Boom. Done. Acknowledge the guy. Yeah, that stuff comes to bite you back in the ass, because the UFC is driven and was created and got popular off athlete to fan interaction. And because we came from this grassroots and the forums and social media and everything rose this sport from the underground to what it is now. Well, when you forget about that stuff and you start making business decisions, well, all those diehard fans I'm talking about who knows where the sport came from, they start to tune out. They're going to move on to something else. And then you just bank on the hardcore fan. Well, those hardcore fans only buy maybe 1 or 2 to 3 pay-per-views a year. You're fucking with fire, man. Don't fuck up what got you to the dance. Don't practice the salsa for the past 2 months. Then you get to the dance, you start doing the fucking moonwalk. You're not ready for the moonwalk. Do what got you to the dance. Keep it going with that salsa, for God's sakes. And Dana's been flirting at the perfect dream team. And I know Chael leaked that Jim Rome news. I don't think that's true. I don't think that would be a dream team. I think you'd have 2 Siamese fish in a bowl. you're going to have someone who gets along with Joe Rogan, because that's all that matters. Take Joe out of the equation. Watch how this goes. Now he might take himself out of the equation one of these days, which I think is going to happen. But take Joe out of the equation, or put a guy in there who butts heads with him, argues with him. Let me know how it goes for him. Enjoy that. So I mean, again, it's. I wish I could say I'm surprised. It's just the way the UFC does business now. It's just what they do.
Yeah.
There's guys who put way more years in the sport than me and got the same email I did. You know, it's cutthroat, man. It's cutthroat. You don't become a world-class promoter by being the nicest guy in the world.